Friendship is a new comedy from director Andrew DeYoung and A24 starring Tim Robinson as a suburban dad trying to befriend his charismatic new neighbor, played by Paul Rudd. This movie just had a premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival. We caught it at Toronto last year. Art finally got a chance to catch up with this hilarious upcoming comedy, which will be out not too far from now. Art, what did you make of Friendship?
Kind of sucked, bro. After Nirvana, the band, the show, I had really high expectations. They made me give it a 4. It's great. It's good. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the cringe comedy that definitely split a couple of people. But how do you not know what you're getting into? There's a trailer out for this, and I'll just right off the bat, right? If you have seen anything from Tim Robinson and it's not your tea, you can leave. Don't watch this review.
Don't watch it. Don't watch any of this.
It is very, I think you should leave-esque type humor.
So if you think you should leave,
then you should. That's okay. Go.
But from here on out, it's a friendship podcast right here. Okay. Better or worse than when you guys saw it?
I think better for me personally.
I bumped it half star.
Because there is a narrative element to this movie and also incredible cinematography,
Yes.
which we're
Oh
going to
my
get into as
God.
well. But besides the joke, there's a story happening behind the scenes, or I shouldn't say behind the scenes, but behind the main plot, which is him wanting to become a friend with this guy.
Yeah.
It's also has to do with his life. It has to do with his work in particular, how he views the world. And I think it's a very smart script with some of the most annoyingly hilarious.
Yeah, but I also want to clarify before going too far. It's not just that he's desperately trying to be Paul's friend. Paul reaches out first. Paul's the one who's all like, I like you, guy. You're cool. Because at first he's all like, I don't want a friend. I don't want to do that. So it's like you get that added layer of all like, you brought me into this, man.
Did he message him before?
Yeah, he hits up the wife.
Before the mail?
No, he goes there and drops off, and then
he gets the invite.
And then he gets the invite through the wife, and he's like, I don't want to hang out with that guy. That's weird. And then he goes and then becomes enamored with this like quirky man's love of weird things and just how unique he is.
There is a shot, where they go out.
Because there's a moment.
Yeah,
there's a moment in this movie where I'm like, is Tim Robinson the one who's not going to want to be friends with Paul Rudd? Because like it sets it up.
I'm not going to lie, that would have been a very funny movie.
I know, right? Like,
yeah, but this is like in the Tim Robinson mold of the guy who doesn't know when to quit, doesn't know when he's already overstayed his welcome, and it evolves from this like budding friendship into this really contentious kind of dynamic between them. My summary in TIFF was that it should be called I Don't Love You Man instead of I Love You Man, because it is sort of not about a friendship happening. But I think my main reaction just from the first screening I saw it to now is out of TIFF, I knew it was a hilarious comedy that had really great moments for that Tim Robinson style humor. I think it's seeing the intelligence and how it was put together, the way in which Tim Robinson's career is really like a reflection of his whole life. Also the way that the visuals are put together with these incredible slow dissolves and long lens zooms that follow guys down the street awkwardly. Like, it is just a really kind of peculiar style that is a little uneasy and almost on the verge of psychedelic. Well, it's not like full on psychedelic.
I almost think they do that intentionally to false set up something that happens down the line too. I really think that there's like certain elements, because like he's explained to him, Paul's character likes collecting like old antique things, and when he's talking about like some of the first mans did this, it's showing like the galaxy behind him, so you're like, oh, this might get really trippy. And then there's a scene that happens, and you're
it's not quite as trippy as you maybe intended to.
So funny.
It's really, really funny in the way that it sort of plays with your expectations, and sometimes will go way over the board, and then sometimes just really underplay it. But I think the whole thing, from the visuals to the writing style, is just sort of meant to constantly keep you from settling in. It sort of makes you uneasy, and it makes you sort of feel the way that he might feel not being so sure about whether or not he's actually developing a friendship.
Yeah.
That's why he's funny. I think he had mentioned in the Q&A how it's like, you don't play it up for the laugh, you play it up for the sincerity. And sadly, that's what makes it funny. When you were talking about the visuals, he had mentioned the Q&A that he was inspired by The Master.
Yeah.
And what is The Master if not the story of two people wanting to come together? And what if you directed that, but instead of, like you're saying, tipping it over to the PTA, who I'm sure also sees his as a comedy, just nobody gets his jokes. Here it is played off where it is sincere, but it will play off as a comedy for the entire audience. It's just, it's shot too well because you're in his state of mind, how he's viewing things. And it's always right there of becoming very psychotic, and instead it's funny. Some people may think it's a little too much. Again,
they're wrong.
But to me, the joke is always the third thing he does. It's once he's crossed the line where I find it really funny, because there's an individual where even in the movie, but when we were leaving, people know how to walk like him, and that should tell you everything you need to know about how he presents himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is really just an incredible showcase for Tim Robinson.
And the cast, ooh.
Yeah.
The whole cast is good.
It's a really fun Paul Rudd performance, even if he's not quite like the co-star. He is a supporting player.
Yeah.
But he's just got to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything that we've never seen Paul Rudd do.
Yeah.
But
other than some narrative elements. But
he's Paul Rudd. He's the best at that thing.
Exactly.
He's so good at
That like Anchorman style smoothness, but with a little bit of
The
like
fact of,
Even some of the earnestness that's required once the situation gets out of the oh no.
Yeah.
He does have a lot of those Anchorman. It works 60% of the time.
Exactly. Literally though, you know?
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, talk about. This was the completion of your marathon.
Yeah, so one of 3 Kate marathon movies in the film festival, and easily the best one, if I may say so.
Run them down.
The Astronaut and
The Dutchman.
Which I think you put there, and then this would be at the top for the Kate Marathon. It was pretty good. Better than the Rudathon.
Better than the Renaissance. Yeah, I think a lot of this movie also relies on people around him acting very normal.
Yeah.
You'll get some weird moments, but it's kind of just it's just really all playing into like this weird reality that he finds himself in. But outside those kind of like, what the fuck's going on here moment where even Tim's like,
well, that's what's great, right?
You know,
he's the weird one. So it's setting you up when he's matched with who's out there that he's worked with in the past. When he meets someone crazier, you're like, what is happening? We are tipping over.
That's what I mean.
And they know how to use that so well. Yeah.
But ultimately, this is also a film that is very relatable in a sense, because I think we've all understood a situation where you're trying to be kind to someone or get an in with someone, and you just feel awkward. You feel like you don't know how to communicate your feelings in a way that isn't just completely socially unacceptable. So, like, I don't know. I think we're all a little more socially competent than Tim Robinson, but
I don't know.
Everyone better.
Maybe,
everyone who comments better.
I don't know. Sometimes
there are some people, and everyone has their moments too. That's what you're saying is that in this movie, you've never been in the position he puts himself into.
Yeah.
But it's so over the top that it allows you to relax and say, okay, that's not, because sometimes when it is too close, viewers do have that issue of like, I don't know who that is. So if it's crazy enough, you might give in and be like, oh yeah, that's what it feels like. What is this over the top element that you have to deal with? And that's why you had said it was a good double feature with Nirvana.
One thing I did really like about this too, in terms of like the origin of it, I think is even more relatable thing is like Andrew Young remembered he was working with someone at a job, left that job, tried to reach out to somebody he thought was a friend, and that person was like, no, we really just work friends. And I think all of us have had that to like some degree. There's people you've been like really close to at work and you'd have fun, and maybe sometimes you'd go out to things after work and stuff, and then once that's gone or they're on to something else, like they're just done with it because they had you compartmentalized in
the
a
kind of
area.
unspoken social codes that are so awkward to navigate.
Yeah.
Any particular moments or sequences that you found to be without fully spoiling it for you, it's probably the subway sequence.
Oh, that one's good. What is my favorite one though? Oh, there's so many. Wait, you go.
I think all the
no Marvel spoilers.
people are literally going crazy.
Yeah.
I think all the stuff with the mushrooms was really funny.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
Sure these aren't poisonous?
It's just such a hilarious movie. I think it's a comedy that doesn't hit a lull, doesn't really stop delivering.
The soap scene for me.
The soap scene.
I'm
also
sorry.
Also hilarious. Yeah, I mean, just nonstop laughs.
No. No.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, ordinarily I'd say it's unlikely we'll see a funnier movie this year, but we did see a funnier movie at this festival.
But they're close.
They're very close. They're both hysterical. Absolutely a must see for fans of comedy, fans of Tim Robinson, fans of Paul Rudd. Andrew Young, we also noted, is the director behind a special that we really liked, Would It Kill You to Laugh, with John Early and Kate Berlant. He's done some work on shows we like the other two.
I Love
Search
That For
Party,
You.
I believe. I Love That For You.
115.
Yeah, Pen 15. So this is a guy who knows his way around funny directing, and to me, this is like such an achievement because it also, unlike a lot of studio comedies, looks great. Like it looks like an actual movie.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had like what? Oh wait. But another part to finish up the story she was saying is that guy had like messaged him back.
Yeah.
But he refuses to let the guy know that the movie's about him.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm sure
exactly.
5 people think, but I'm never gonna give them the satisfaction.
You can't.
You
can't.
really can't.
You got to let them be like, oh, fuck.
But no, good one to catch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Worth the rewatch as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That was one of the ones the second it was announced. I was like, I don't care that it comes out in May. I'm seeing
We didn't
it,
even
yeah.
do the first screening because we wanted to make sure that it wasn't at the Alamo, but at the Paramount. Woke up
That was
extra
still
early
packed.
for that. And it was
we
still
had the
packed
bunny
that early.
cast.
Yeah,
The whole bunny cast was
great.
there, and
Yeah.
they're funny, so they were having a
They
great
were having a
time. I
blast.
thought they almost killed themselves. They were running up the stairs so fast and then vaulted over to like the seats. I thought they were going to go off the balcony.
They just have the premiere and that's it.
Yeah, literally. Oh, it was good.
Yeah, I went 4.5 on this.
Same. I bumped myself from a 4 to a 4.5.
I did the same.
From TIFF to here.
I did the same. So maybe Art will join us in
It
that
could-
when
it
he gets
stacks.
I'll have
a
to watch
second
it
viewing.
at Chicago.
Yeah, you should.
And everybody else will get a chance to watch it on May 9th, 6th?
Right around the corner.
6th, 9th? First week or so of May. May 9th. So
Beautiful.
not
Take
too
your mom.
far in the
Take
future.
your moms.
My friend's birthday, who's very excited to see it.
There you go.
That's
Take your
all I
friends.
know.
Take
Take your
the
friends.
people that you hope will maybe one day be your friends, even though if it's in a kind of awkward middle ground right now.
I'll see it again for my birthday.
And when you do that, make sure that the entire time you're watching the movie, you're just looking at them like this. Just
That's what
full on
Zach did.
sideways.
And he was sitting in front of me, which was a little weird.
That's why I sat across the aisle.
We'll be back with more reviews from South by Southwest 2025. That's Arturo. That's Amanda. I'm Zach Shevich. And until next time, remember, when my hair's down, people call me Z-Boy.
I'm so glad you remembered to do that. It's T-Boy. Yeah, he's Z-Boy.